My name is Rinu Oduala, the project director of Connect of NG, a human rights platform where we document, defend, and advocate against police brutality and state violence in Nigeria. I first want to thank Do Take Action for organizing this event and inviting me, and also especially thank everyone who have come all the way across the world to attend this event. The topic of today is activism for impact, speaking your truth, and I would start on a very personal note. 16-year-old Tina Ezekwe was shot on the evening of the 26th of May by a drunk SARS officer who shot sporadically into a group of passengers after he tried to extort the bus driver. She died 2 days later. She was supposed to write her school leaving exams few days after she was killed. Her parents were left in a position with no access to justice, no access to help. It took the collective action and push of justice and reform activists to get anything done, and even including the civil society as well. That wouldn't happen if she was the child of one of our politicians or the elite. The common man in Nigeria suffered just because they are common, regarded as nobody. So after Tina was killed in Lagos, I felt a strong obligation to rise up and do something, more than just sit down and praying that it doesn't happen to me. So I organized a protest with some of my friends from social media and headed to the police headquarters in Lagos to lay a complaint. And I'd say that from there it has been a roller coaster. Young people in my country have always ended up becoming victims of the failed system where there is no access to justice, no access to good healthcare, no access to jobs, or anything else. Being a Nigerian means that you have to always fight against forces that you are not seeing. But then more importantly, you have to fight not to die. Because the government who is supposed to protect lives and properties are missing in action. They're busy stealing, they're busy benefiting from the indignity of average Nigerians. When I discovered that I could die without access to justice or good health care, that I could just become a added number to the ever-rising cases of police, people killed through police brutality, I think that was my own push to begin to speak up, to begin to speak the truth. Also, I grew up among people who were fixated on survival, people who didn't have hopes of a next day meal. To know that these same people had little hopes of getting back home with their lives intact was at the very least heartbreaking. So I am an average Nigerian, a part of an often overlooked demographic who struggle for comfort. And then I think that I discovered that I realized that I want to leave, because being a Nigerian from a poor home leaves you with few opportunities anyway, as opposed to your peers from other countries, So in order to be able to make most of these opportunities, you have to be able to leave. You cannot just end up dying as a result of some stray bullet by some errant police officer. I was even afraid of my younger ones getting their dreams cut off. So when a police officer in Nigeria tells you, "I'll waste your life and nothing will happen," I think that dream of making it slips further and further away, because like it has happened to others, one day it may happen to me, and that's not a cause. It's just something that is very, very certain if things do not change. Also, there is a saying in my country that Nigeria go better, Nigeria will be better, Nigeria go better. Generations after generations have said this over and over. I do not think that my generation believes that this saying will come to pass any longer. So right now, young people are literally having to turn into activists to get things done, to pave a way for others, to scream at the top of our voices, and probably die to get the attention of the government who seems oblivious to what is happening. So why am I saying all this? To point out that my activism came out of a necessity to see my community survive. It wasn't something that I did for fun. It wasn't something that I did to unnecessarily gain attention. For me, it was about how do I fight for my community's right to life, my community's right to opportunities, for my community rights to liberty, to even be able to exercise their fundamental human rights, because these are our rights anyway. Also, I understood that we do not have to live in a world like this. We can change it. For other people, for you, it may be that that something is wrong, even though the world says, "Oh, well, it's just the way things are." That something is inherently wrong. So, the fact that I live in a country where all of our efforts to bring about change, to improve our living circumstances, is blocked by these very same people who say we are lazy. The same individuals who are supposed to protect me are the ones who are trying to kill me. And I've been crying for change. It seems to be going unheard. So As a Nigerian, I'm worn out, I'm frustrated, and I know that I'm not alone. You can relate because this is not just my reality. I'm not the only tired one. I'm not the only frustrated one. It is also your reality. So it is nearly impossible to remain silent in the face of all of these issues or problems, or to pretend as if they don't exist because we are afraid that somebody is going to oppress us. And we should not remain silent either. We must not remain silent about the country's injustice out of fear. We must speak up, not just for ourselves, for other people who have been silenced, for other people who have died as a result of this oppression, for the upcoming generation as well. Nigeria is going through a lot, and like I said, it is nearly impossible to remain silent in the face of all of this. And I just wanted to also add, many people at times will say that Nigerians are docile. Nigerians do not like speaking up. I like to point out that with history and what we currently have, Nigerians are no stranger to speaking up or even to protesting. So when they tell you Nigerians are docile, tell them no, that is not true. We're no strangers to speaking up. We're no strangers to telling the truth to government. Even way before independence, during the pre-colonial era and all of that, we had Nigerians who were loud about the need for change, and they were not afraid to put their lives on the line. From the Bonu women in the pre-colonial era to Queen Bakwa Talk to Queen Amina of Zaria to the Aba women protest, over 50 women who were killed, trying to fight against colonial oppression in 1929, to the Abeokuta women riots of the 1940s, to the infamous union strike held by, I think, Pa Michael Imodu, to the student union non-protests during the military days, and even the more recent NSAS protest. Nigeria has a long history or involvement in speaking up and speaking truth to power. Now, while I'm not here to convince you that one event, will change the world, I believe in taking small efforts. When you look at the recent mass movement that has happened across the world, it all started from one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people deciding enough was enough, and they were gonna create change. And they're using new technologies that we have today in order to be able to do that. Take for example social media and digital activism. Today we can literally have a mass movement within minutes. If a hashtag trends and people decide that they were going to get themselves involved in the issues surrounding that hashtag. Look at your social media, for instance. How many, and this is coming from somebody who started from social media. How many days or times per week do you post there? Do you talk about conversations about the important topics? Do you speak to power? Because that was how it started for me. I think that some of us are also used to calling other people activists. Whether we like it or not, we're all activists. And that was how the NSAS movement started in 2020. People did not say, oh, you're an activist. I, as a young person at the age of 21 then, I didn't say, oh, they are the activists, let them start a protest. Everybody saw a need to get involved from all over the world, to come together in peace to achieve a common goal. And we did it. We made the entire world stop and listen. We made them pay attention. We made them to ask for accountability from our government. And that's the strength of activism. That's the strength of activism making impact. Think about what would happen if you and I made it a daily thing to do, to post, to call out the people that need to be called out, to stand up, to speak the truth about our poor governance, about our desire for better healthcare, our desire for better education, our desire for a better nation in general. Even if we're sitting in the security of our homes, activism is not for some people. It's a lifestyle for everybody who wants change. And my own hope lies in a set of people who are probably not popular or known internationally, the people who have courage, the people who choose to step forward, the leaders of community, of social movements, people like you and I who are willing to forfeit everything in order to be able to speak up, because this is where the world's hope lies. Because it is important that we're giving a voice for a reason, right? And that voice isn't just to probably sing or talk about other things. It is also to speak up against injustice, to protest injustice, or to simply speak the truth. And somebody will say something, they will say that people can take anything from you. They can take your house from you, they can take your car from you, they can take everything else from you, but your voice is one of the things that cannot be taken away. So please use that voice today. You can make a difference. And I'll leave you with a quote. They said that that quote says that speaking truth to power is saying what needs to be said, even if it means that thing that you want to say is not the most important thing, even if it means that thing that you want to say may cost you something. even if it means that that thing that you want to say is scary and you may be afraid. However, staying silent is not an option. Even though there will always be resistance to change, without you speaking up, without you speaking the truth, without you standing up, without you making sure that you are creating impact to the truth that you are saying, there will never be change. And if there's no change, then we can't have the societies, or for instance in Nigeria that we desire, that Nigeria where the common man can become somebody without the help of nobody. The Nigeria where you and I will not have to think about jackpot to another man's land, because our land is not safe for us. A Nigeria where we won't be cut down in our prime just for simply asking for an end to police brutality and end to bad governance. In Nigeria where we'll have a true democracy that is of the people, for the people, and by the people. In Nigeria where the highest office on the land will not be that of the president or the governor or the senators. The Nigeria where the highest office in the land will be the office of the citizen. Thank you.